Hi, I'm Vegeta, the Prince of all Saiyans. You've heard of me from television, and now you're watching Airlim.
This is the illusion of. Check that out. Can you hear me better now?
I think they had batteries once, or they were charged.
At one point in time.
Yeah.
I'll take a look real
Could have
quick.
been hours and hours ago.
Don't worry about it. Yeah. These need to be recharged. Oh, that's just double A's. Here we go. Okay. Sorry, I'm an audio. I'm an audio guy. I own a recording studio in Dallas, Texas. So anything audio, I like to try and fix. And when the audio doesn't work, I get freaked out.
You guys can hear us well enough, yeah? Yeah. So we're okay then. Chris, should we start off? I don't know. How can you tell how powerful a dragon is?
Well, it's interesting you asked that question. I'm sure a lot of people have been wondering that. You always can tell how strong a dragon is by the size of his balls. It's a Namekian dragon, like huge balls, 3 wishes. See, you know what I mean? Shenron, just 7 balls, but they were smaller. And Shenron's balls dropped at the end of that one and turned to stone as well. So, serious problem for that dragon.
I think we've all been there, Chris. It's, we have some questions from the audience. I think there's a couple of people here that may have questions. Okay, go on.
I wanted to ask, when do you think the new series of Dragon Ball Super is going to be done?
Well, it was just announced literally yesterday. This is the first panel I've been able to sit on, especially for the last, ever since Super was even announced as a thing, that I actually can say, yes, we are dubbing Dragon Ball Super. Isn't that awesome? I haven't even been in the United States since it's been announced that Funimation has the license, so give me a day or two to figure that out before I have to answer the question, like, when are we going to start doing it? My informed or slightly uninformed guess would be you'll probably see it by January, December, January-ish. So that's what I'm hoping for, at least. I mean, you guys are in the UK, it takes a little while. It's like a 9-hour flight, so it may be like February or March before you see it. I have no idea. Australia, it'll be like 5 years from now. Thank you very much. You guys have a great
We got some other questions there. Hands up. Yep.
Which is your favourite Dragon Ball Z character to voice?
Well, Yamcha is my favorite to voice because he is the easiest character to voice. Because he doesn't have to do anything, he just sits around talking to his cat. And I have two theories I've held on to. One, he talks to his cat, and Poir does exist, but no one can hear Poir talk back to him, so they think that he's talking to his cat, and they just kind of let it go. My other belief is that Tien Shinhan talks to Chaozu, but nobody can see Chaozu. Chaozu is completely invisible. He's like, I gotta go get Chaozu. They're like, all right. You do your thing. Chaozu's injured. They're like, sure, okay. Let's get is this Chaozu's? Yeah, but honestly, the character I love the most is obviously Vegeta. He is the character I have spent the most time working on. I guess I started dubbing Dragon Ball in 1998 or something like that. It's been a really long time in working on the show. I mean, I think I've been working on this show as long as some of you have been old, actually. As long as some of you have been alive, I've been working on Dragon Ball. But I've learned so much about Vegeta's character over the years. I've learned so much about Goku, actually. One thing I learned is that Goku sucks. He's a terrible character. He really is. Vegeta, in my opinion, is the best character in Dragon Ball Z. He has the best storyline, he developed the most, and he has chosen to be a better person, as opposed to Piccolo, who came from an egg, and Goku, who just has a head injury. That's literally the only reason Goku is nice is because he hit himself on the head as a child, and that's all. That's the only reason. Otherwise, he puts his friends in mortal danger constantly, just so that he can watch other people get stronger. Because all he really loves is not his friends or his family. He just likes to fight, and that's it. That's all he wants to do. So I hate Goku for that reason. He's a terrible father. Seriously, the worst. I don't even think he's made eye contact with Gohan in like 200 episodes. So seriously, it's just yeah, I love Vegeta. He's my favorite. He's awesome, and I cannot wait to work on Super, because I'm sure some of you have gotten tired of waiting for the dub and are already watching it in Japanese. And the kind of stuff that they put him through is different than the sort of challenges he had in Dragon Ball Z. It's more like he's become domesticated in a really funny way, and it's hysterical. I love what they've done with him. So. Okay. His moustache is right. I love someone just like a quiet moustache.
I was just wondering, a few of us feel like Vegeta kind of got cheated in Resurrection of F.
Oh, not just a few of you, everyone.
Yeah.
I felt like I got cheated. Like, I was watching it with the Japanese. The Japanese had their premiere of Resurrection F in California instead of in Japan, which is pretty neat. Like, the world premiere of their show they did in America instead of in Japan. We're like, you know, USA. And that was a first. So, but I was watching it in the theater with all the people who created it. And there were 2 times when I literally yelled out in the theater and embarrassed myself. Once is where Tien Shinhan comes to the fight. He goes, "I left Yamcha at home because he was too weak." I'm like, oh. I literally yell out like, "No!" And then when Vegeta gets cheated out of his win at the end, I screamed out loud, and the people stared at me, and I didn't care. Because frankly, here's how I think the end of Resurrection F should have gone down. Okay, fine, they want to do that stupid do-over thing, which is reason number 2 why nothing in Dragon Ball matters at all, because of Dragon Balls, and now because they can turn back time. So nothing has any consequence. Like, as a side note, I've always imagined a spin-off series from Dragon Ball, which is Gohan as an elderly person, wishing Pan, his wife and daughter, back to life again and again and again. Everyone's like, just let it go, let it go. But I have Dragon Balls, I can always bring it back. But I thought that what should have happened at the end of Resurrection F, they did their stupid temporal do-over thing. Goku got to defeat Frieza, whatever, and then when Vegeta comes back and they start it again and Goku's about to kill him, Vegeta's like, wait, so you just killed Vegeta, you just killed Frieza because I was about to do that. They go, yeah, I did, but you know, like Frieza blew up the planet. He goes, fine, then turn it back again. So I think they should have another temporal do-over so Vegeta could have, and he goes, well, we only have 2 minutes, like you're only gonna have the end of Frieza's sentence. It's like, fine, I don't care. Send me back in time, he charges it up, boom, he wins. So that's what happens in my head.
That's an idea to Team 4-Star.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually know the Team 4-Star guys pretty well. They live in Dallas, and they're awesome. I love them. They're really, really cool guys. Funny as hell. I love them to death. Yes.
Yep. I think the lady up there, Brian.
What's your favourite Vegeta moment?
I like when Vegeta hits Goku on the back of the neck and knocks him out when he's in the Majin Vegeta state. I love that. I like when he sacrifices himself to save his family, which is awesome. I love it when he actually shows any sort of genuine emotion toward Bulma, which he did in Battle of Gods. The My Bulma thing was brilliant. And there are a couple of scenes in Super that are really funny that you guys will get to as well, where he's like freaking out and it's hysterical. I love it. And when he has a moustache.
What's your favourite fusion out of Gogeta or Vegito?
The only fusion I ever liked was when they were making mistake fusions. Like when they had like, when they just turned into kind of the fat version of... Faku or whatever they call him. I also liked Tiencha in one of the video games. They had Tien and Yamcha fused together. And I would love to see a fusion between like Mr. Popo and Chaozu together. creepiest thing I've ever seen. Nightmare fuel right there. Yeah, but I don't really like the fusions as much. I think that it feels like a cop out to me.
Yeah.
But whatever. I like to see Infusion Super, and I've been hearing rumors that might happen. So unless it already has, but no spoilers.
I was just wondering, what's your favorite Dragon Ball Z movie? What's your favorite line in the Dragon Ball Z movies?
Let's see. It would have to be in Resurrection F when Beerus is trying to figure out what that stringy white substance is on his pizza, and Vegeta's like, "It's cheese!" The minute I saw that in the script, and the minute I saw it pass by, I knew that was going to be my favorite line. And I only did one take on it too, like literally one take. I knew exactly how I wanted to say it, because all I had to do was go, how would Vegeta react to somebody not knowing what something as simple as cheese was while he's trying to fight in a train or something like that. So yeah, it was pretty easy. He had his hand violently go up and back. Yeah.
Have you had a Medicare Toriyama?
Yes, I have, actually, and I'm going to get to your question right behind him. I met Akira Toriyama one time during the launch of, what was it? Shonen Jump launched in like 1999 or 2000, had its first issue. And he is a very nervous guy. He doesn't talk a lot. He's kind of agoraphobic. It's hard to get him out of the house, apparently. But they had a small, like very controlled Q&A session during that. And the most interesting question I heard asked maybe ever to anyone who's worked on that show was, what happened to launch? Because she just sort of disappeared in the show. They never justified it. And he goes, I forgot. He has a pretty crappy memory. So that's who I want to see. That's the character I most want to see come back, like Resurrection L or something. Like Launch comes back like all golden or something. And yes, you punched the sky before.
What's it like when someone recognizes you by your voice?
It's always a little bit weird for anyone to recognize me in any form, in voice or in person. The only time I've ever felt it wasn't as awkward was when I was on literally like my first or second date with the woman who's now my wife, and we were at a movie theater, and someone goes, "Excuse me, are you Chris Sabat?" I go, "What?" Yeah, yes I am. So weird. And of course my wife was like, "What is that show you work on?" "Dragon Ball." She goes, "Never heard of it." Like, not at all? Like, no, I don't like it. I'm like, thanks, great. My brothers like it, so I think that's how I was allowed to marry her, because her brothers were like, you have to, right? Yeah, it's always weird. And you know what's really weird is to hear your voice in a toy, too. We've just been moving, because we bought a new house, and my wife took this box, and she set it down, and the box goes, "Is that all you have?" I'm not kidding. It had one of those old, for a while there was this Vegeta punching bag thing that you could blow up and you could knock it down, and every time you punch it, it would go, "Is that all you have? Is that all you..." So I was like, no, there's more stuff than that. There's a whole truck full of it. But yeah, it is weird to hear yourself in toys. It's weird to hear yourself outside of your body in any way, actually. But yeah, so good question. Thank you. Yes, in the far back. Sorry, I'm
No,
I've
not
screwed
at
up
all.
your entire
Not at
job.
all.
You have one purpose here.
Okay, so I was always wondering about this, based on your work in the studio. Aside from yourself, who would be your favourite person to work with on the show? If you had one.
I'm just listening to that song. I'm just taking it in. I'm sorry. I embarrassed you. I was doing this on a separate note. I was doing this one panel at Anime Expo, and there probably were 4,000 or 5,000 people in this one panel room, and I was telling a story, and then all of a sudden, some janitorial guy came out. And he was pushing a trash can on wheels, and it was making so much noise, and all of us just stopped and watched him for a while as he went all the way across. It was like this. And then finally he stopped and he noticed that we were all staring at him, and then he started going faster. Let's see, what was your question? I totally forgot what it was. Oh yeah, favorite person to work with. Well, if you ask any of the actors, I would say I love working with all of them. But some of my favorites to work with are Travis Willingham he's a good friend of mine. I love him. I love working with Laura Bailey. She played Kid Trunks. Justin Cook, he was the voice of Super Boo and Raditz, and he's a really close friend of mine. Eric, the guy who plays Eric Vale, he plays Trunks. I mean, I really like working with most everybody except for Sean Schemmel. I like working with Sean. Just Sean has a difficult time working because he's always so paranoid about whether it's going to be good or not, or whether his voice is in the right shape. Like, I told someone earlier today that Sean and I are very much like Vegeta and Goku, except actually we're more like Vegeta and Piccolo, and I'm Piccolo and he's Vegeta, because he's always like paranoid or angry or ticked off about something, and I'm just like, just let it go, man. Sweet. Yes, right on the front.
Have you ever used your voice acting talents for mischief? Like, have you ever called?
Yes, all the time. When I was growing up, that's all I did. Like when I was a kid, there was no caller identification of any sort. You could literally pick up a phone book, call any phone, and no one ever knew who it was. So I was obsessed with it. And one of my favorite things, one of my buddies in high school had a 2-line phone set. His dad had a home office, and at that time we were like, what, 2 phone lines? You connect them together? So what I would do is I'd call 2 people in my high school that hated one another, and I'd call one of them and pick up, and while the phone was ringing, I'd call the other one and I'd just conference them together. So I didn't even have to use my voice at all. It would just go, it was just like, hello? Hello? Who is this? Who is this? What, you called me? No, you called me. Is this Sarah? Is this James? Why are you calling me? I didn't call you. You called me. It was so fun. But I think the time I used my voice, like, I've used my voice for mischief a lot. The only time I've used it for the powers of good was one time I was sitting on a plane flying home, and I could see, you know how sometimes you can sit in an airplane seat and you can see between the seats in front of you and watch what somebody's doing in front of you? It's pretty voyeuristic and creepy, but some dude was on his laptop, and I just happened to notice that this guy's like on OkCupid and Tinder and all these dating websites, right? Except he was being really creepy on it. Like he had all of them open, and he would copy and paste the same text onto each picture for each girl that he would talk to, and he would just sort the photographs by who was most likely to respond fast enough. And he'd go like, where are you from? And they go, I'm from Addison. And then he'd like quickly open Google Maps or something and go, oh, that's weird. I'm from Richardson, right next to Addison. We should hang out. And I watched him just do this to multiple people. And he set up all these dates with these people. So I thought, I'm gonna destroy this guy. So I probably looked like an insane person, like squinting between the seats at one point. And I copied down all the phone numbers of all of the people that he had contacted, as well as his email address. And on my drive home from the airport, I would call one of them and be like, is this Sarah? She'd go, like, are you going on a date with Jim tomorrow, or whatever his name was? And she'd go, yes, like, he's not the person you think he is. This is your only warning. She'd hang up. Store, and I logged into one of their computers, and I signed into a bogus email address, and I emailed him and I said, I know everything you're doing, and I will destroy you if you continue to do it. So hopefully it stopped. But that guy was super creepy.
Did he email back?
No, he didn't. I'm sure he was scared. I'm sure he was scared the minute like somebody had canceled all 10 of his dates, and he was.
Or the moment he could hear someone breathing over his
Yeah, I'm sure he was sweating pretty hard. Let's see.
What about the right at the back? Yeah.
What is your opinion on Dragon Ball GT?
It exists. Actually, it's a good. It really is an entertaining show. I just had gotten to the end of Dragon Ball Z, and someone had told me that Akira Toriyama didn't have much to do with GT or anything at all. He was like, please let me die. Like, please kill me. I don't want to do anymore. And they said, fine, we'll do it ourselves. So I said, I need to take a break. I can't direct any more Dragon Ball after that. So they let Chris Bevins direct it, and he really did a good job for what it's worth. He did an excellent job dubbing the show. And, you know, at least it's not Dragon Ball Evolution. So I should say that over the past couple of years, actually just the past year, I've become friends with James Marsters, the guy who played Piccolo. Not only is he a massive, and has been a massive Dragon Ball Z fan, he's actually a very, very cool guy. And I had always wanted to meet him. And Sean Schemmel, the guy who plays Goku, was at a convention one time, and he said, oh, James Marsters is here, the guy from Dragon Ball Evolution. I'm like, go talk to him. And he goes, no, I can't. He's just sitting by himself. I'm like, go talk to him. I said, use me as an excuse. Like, go say I said he has to meet him. And he goes, I don't know what I'd talk about. I'm like, ask him about Evolution. I'm sure it's a great story. And it is a really good story, because I feel really bad for that guy. Because Dragon Ball Evolution was, like, on paper, the most brilliant thing. Like, it had an incredible Chinese director, Stephen Chow, who have you heard of Kung Fu Hustle by chance?
Yeah.
Like one of the best Chinese movies. In fact, probably one of the best movies I've seen. Like top 10 movies. It's so good. So he was supposed to be the director of that film. And so I'm sure, like, James has told me he's like immediately signed on the dotted line. Didn't even matter. And it was supposed to be like this $20 million film, and like it ended up being nothing close to that, and the director dropped out, and so he was sort of stuck, and he was doing everything he could to make it work. So I've been trying to work with him to find some way of giving him some sort of Dragon Ball redemption. And now that Super is here, maybe that will happen. So if you hear anything about that, give him lots of love for me. So let's see. Yes, in the back.
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, hi again.
Hello again.
Okay, so what do you like about Piccolo the most? What does he mean to you, and who's your favorite?
I like the fact that he can regenerate.
Yeah.
I like the fact that he can hear really well. I like the fact that he's the best father in the series. He has no children, which is weird. Piccolo was always a confusing character to me because we didn't dub Dragon Ball first. We dubbed Dragon Ball Z first, then went back and dubbed Dragon Ball, and I was like, oh, I get it now. So he was a kind of a confusing character, and I think he's confusing even for Akira Toriyama too. I just don't feel like Piccolo's backstory is robust enough for me to kind of get into. It's just, he's popped out of an egg and that's it. But yeah, I do like him. He's cool. He's one of the coolest characters. If anything, I feel like he's the black character of the show. If like there was one, you know what I mean? Like he's I mean Europe. Normally I would say the African American character, but I guess that wouldn't work here. He's just cool. Like he's someone I would want to, like, of all of them, I probably want to hang out with him the most because he's just really relaxed and he likes green stuff. So yes.
If you had a wish for the Dragon Balls, what would you wish for?
Well, now I've got to come up with a new one because it used to be more episodes of Dragon Ball, and it turns out we got that. So my wish was already granted. Let's see. The next one, mine would be, let's see. God, man, now I can't think of it. It was such an easy answer before, and now you totally screw with me. I haven't had to. Darn, I don't know how to do this. Let me think on that one. It could be like a clean, renewable energy, or lots of money. Actually, lots of money. Like infinite amounts of money. Then I'll invent clean, renewable energy. Or something. Yes, right behind.
Do you have any like tattoos or memos or something specifically related to the series that you keep in your house?
I have probably one of my favorite. I have a lot of favorite things and Dragon Ball related. One of them is I've got a Yamcha action figure, and it's dead Yamcha. Have you seen it? not even kidding. It's him. Like, he's totally slumped over like he was in the crater when he gets killed by the Cybermen or whatever. And it's like you can put him in the middle of a pie and he looks perfect. Let's see. Right after one of the movies, probably my second favorite thing is like Sean Schemmel bought me like a gold-plated PS4 that has 9001 written on the controller. And he sent, like, the note he sent with it said, "Dear Vegeta, he said, Dear Vegeta, I was in the hyperbolic time chamber and figured out a way to get you a PS4 or something like that, like from Goku," which is pretty cool. And now my newest prized possession is I was in Tokyo 3 weeks ago, and the guys from Banpresto, the people who make a lot of the coolest Dragon Ball toys, I had dinner with them, and they gave me a gift that apparently they were really, really excited to give me, and I had no idea what it could possibly be. And now I'm going to use a demonstration of what this is. I have to show it to you. Yes, they had a sculptor take one of the Dragon Ball figures and turn it into me. So that's now my new favorite Dragon Ball.
It's a bit creepy.
It is super creepy. It's amazing. And then we ate this beef, which also looks creepy, and it was amazing.
Do you think it's kind of annoying how they just made like Vegeta and Goku just like so overpowered? Like obviously like Gohan at the end of the day was like one of the most powerful characters, if not the most powerful. And now in Super and in the two movies that they've made since, it's just basically Goku and Vegeta OP. Like don't worry about anything, just Goku and Vegeta will just fix it.
Yeah, that's one of the inherent problems in that show. And if you want a show that is going to really mix that up, I'm sorry I'm using this moment to promote something that I promise you guys will love. It's Funimation's new show called My Hero Academia. Have you guys seen that? I play a character called All Might, and he is like this huge... If you ever liked Alex Louis Armstrong from Full Metal Alchemist, he's kind of like that, except he's drawn like a Western superhero. It's an amazing show, and that manga and the series totally breaks all the rules of like the typical shonen stuff, the typical only the hero's going to be the one that saves everybody formula. It's really good. I highly recommend anyone reading it or watching it as it comes out.
Fantastic. We've got time for just a couple more questions.
Out of the three characters that you play, what is your favourite ultimate attack that they use?
It'd be Yamcha's Wolfang Fist, of course. Because I have no idea what it does. Like, it's just really silly to say. And actually, no. My favorite attack would be I play Raccoon as well. Yes. And let's see. No, wait. I play Jace as well. Wait, which one is? I just went blank. Crusher Ball is another good one.
Jace.
That's Jace. Yes, I love Crusher Ball. I like way too many of their attack moves, honestly. Big Bang Attack I like, and I'm just gonna start listing them all out at this point. I can't pick just one. That's impossible. Yes, you pick it.
No, we've got time for one. Go on, Chris, pick one last.
Oh, I can't do it. It's too much pressure on me. Michael Jackson jacket, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I was just going to ask you, would you mind saying Raccoon Kick?
Oh, yeah. Every time I did the character Raccoon, a little bit dumber every time. To the point where my engineer once said, Chris, that's getting like almost offensively dumb. Raccoon King!